Hello, everybody, and welcome to a quick and dirty rundown of Canadian Nationals 2024. Many of you were probably wondering, Lucas, why haven't you uploaded a video in like 16 years? And the answer is quite simple. I didn't feel like it. So today we're just going to talk about Canadian Nationals, the tournament that I went to this past weekend. I had a lot of fun playing in this tournament, getting to see my friends, getting to hang out with everybody. It was a great time. I cannot be bothered to edit this video, so apologies for the breaths, the ahs, the ums, that sort of thing. First, let's talk about my team. This was a meta call, this tournament as a whole. This was the last event that happened prior to the major watch list changes. So I wanted to play a team that I knew would do well versus that pre-errata field. I also didn't want to take myself too seriously, not because I cared about making a point or winning or anything like that, but mostly because I figured this would be the only opportunity to actually play Titania. So Titania as a figure, for those who don't know about her, she punishes celebrities just in general. At the beginning of the game, give each opposing character with the celebrity keyword a copyright claim token. When Titania hits with a close attack, give each hit character a copyright claim token. Anybody who has a copyright claim token can't use standard powers that are not displayed on their dial. Titania takes a maximum of 1 damage from characters with copyright claim tokens. And then also, the last little bit that she does is friendly characters that are less points than Titania modify their attack +1. When an opposing character hits Titania after resolutions, remove any copyright claim tokens from that character. So for 75 points, basically all she does is gives my team +1 attack and messes with celebrities. She can pack a wallop. She's a 12 for 3 with super strength and CCE. But all in all, she kind of is a glass cannon, so you only attack with her when it's really necessary. I decided to pair Titania with Double Kong, one of which has Khonshu, the other one has Amit. I, very importantly, did not play Chthon on this team, primarily because turning up a Mutstomb with Chthon on one of the Kongs meant that Kong would just take unnecessary damage consistently, and I really didn't want that. I also felt like this was a really good opportunity to play Kevin. I know this is a little bit of a sore subject for some people because Kevin is not widely available, but I figured since they started handing them out after Nationals for US at Gen Con, that it wouldn't be that big of a deal. Kevin's a really fun character, I found, that works really well with this team and happens to be a celebrity, so that's why I added him. I put the avatar of Tower Red on Kevin to give him Outwit, because he has pretty much omni-vision within 8 squares, and this meant that I would never have to go to his Outwit click on his dial. For those who aren't familiar with Kevin and how he works, we'll just do a quick rundown of him. At the beginning of each of your turns, and whenever Kevin is placed on the map from his card, you turn his dial to any non-KO click. So basically what this allows you to do is at the beginning of the turn, pick a damage power that he has, and he gets to use it for that turn. Anytime that somebody that is a Marvel character, and I think this has been clarified as having the Marvel copyright on their card, anytime a Marvel character makes a roll, and it doesn't have to be an attack roll, it's any roll whatsoever, Kevin can re-roll it once per turn. That is map wide and does not require range or line of fire. Kevin also can't be equipped, but that's not that big of a deal. And then the last thing is Kevin can't be healed, and whenever he would be damaged, instead give him an internet argument token and place him on this card. If you do, at the end of your next turn, place Kevin from his card into a square either in your starting area or adjacent to a friendly character. When he has 3 internet argument tokens, KO him. So, what's the point with Kevin here? As you can see, he has improved targeting everything, which means that within 8 squares, he can use his damage powers pretty much with impunity. He is the only source of leadership on this team, so if I needed 4 actions, I went into leadership, but otherwise Kevin sat on prob almost all game long. This meant that he had an 8 range prob and outwit to use pretty much on anything, anywhere they were. This won me several games and was not to be understated. Lastly, on my team, I had Scott Porter's, which is a duh moment, right? I mean, why wouldn't you play Scott's, especially right now? This team only had 6 figures. That was important to allow my Kongs to double act and hopefully prevent other Kongs from double acting. And then you might notice on the HC units here, there's a couple different things that are listed as not Modern Age, and that's because these elements are no longer legal in Modern as of the 19th of August. Major Rock's Bunker being the first one. I believe this to be banned from Modern currently just because of its availability. It is a little bit of an oppressive map, but I think it is playable. Something that can be easily played around by other people. But because nobody has one, it feels a little unfair. The second, of course, being Search for a Mutt's Tomb. Good riddance. Get this out of the meta. It's a maniac card. Should have never existed. It's ridiculous. This was very clearly never play tested by WizKids because if it was, it wouldn't exist. Going over a few other things, I have Amit, Khonshu, Tauret on my sideline. I did play Absorbing Man. I think he came out in exactly one game, and it didn't matter. I also had Scrappy Doo, and the one game I could have made him, I forgot. So, whoops. Actually, I could have made him every game because every single one of my characters is a celebrity, and half of them are also animals. But again, just kind of forgot he was there. That's my bad. I think it was just the travel fatigue, tiredness, and just overall just not really paying attention. I played the Nifty Traffic Barrel. For those who aren't familiar with the Nifty Traffic Barrel, this thing is insane. It turns off improved movement within 4 squares of itself, and that includes when a character's picked it up. So when you're playing Kong, you pick it up and it's within 4 squares of Kong, effectively giving it a 10 by 10 radius of characters without improved movement. This thing is not rotating from Modern after Worlds here this year, so make sure you own one and continue to play it because it should be on every single team. I also played a Coffin and a Machine, just for good blocking. And then my tarot was pretty straightforward. Hanged Man for the +1s, 8 of Cups for the willpower, 5 of Pentacles to give Kongs +2 speed on charge, 3 of Swords for Pulse Wave for Scott because I didn't really think of any other sword card that mattered. And then 10 of Wands just for the +2 perplex. My other 2 maps were Terra Verde and Bloodstone Maze, but let's be honest, I was never going to anything other than Major Rock's Bunker, and I never did. I played on Major Rock's Bunker all but one game, and that was because my opponent elected to choose map and brought me to Bloodstone Maze. This team pretty much performed exactly like I expected it to. It was very good. I probably could have played it a little better at times, but overall I'm happy with my performance. As you can see, I made top 4 at Canadian Nationals. Congrats to Emily Rowett for getting first place. She beat me in top 4 with a really good Colossus team. For those who paid attention to U.S. Nationals, you know that I played Colossus at U.S. Nationals, so this was a team that was very near and dear to me as well. And she played a wonderful game. One other team I want to go over here real fast, though, before we end the video, is Devin Owens' team. Unfortunately, Devin's team isn't nearly as effective for Worlds here next month, but it is still something to call out for what it did and how it did it so well. I played against Devin round 3 of Swiss, and he beat me in a single turn. Now granted, I still had figures left after that turn, but the game was effectively over. So let's talk about his team and how it works. Prime Wonder Woman is a figure with a 19 defend with Pen Scion enhancement. It's pretty straightforward. You see players playing this figure a lot just for the 19 defend with the figures like Jennifer Kale. Now that Myrn is a figure that's really prominent in the meta, he works basically the same way. You give yourself a 19 defend with Scott Porter's bumping it to a 20. Myrn turns off stat mods, and now you can't do anything. You'll see here he has trick arrows on Myrn, and I'll get to that here in a minute. It's very important. The next is Calendar Man. Calendar Man is one of those figures that's good only for very specific times of year. Specifically on even-numbered months, and since Canadian Nationals was in August, it was an even-numbered month. If we look here, if the game began on an even-numbered month, Calendar Man has free choose a standard power. Opposing characters within range can't use the chosen power until your next turn. Otherwise, he can use Prob twice a turn and may use it regardless of range. Why is this important? Well, as you're aware, especially pre-errata, Kong is the most popular figure in Modern. What this allows Devin to do is choose Impervious with Calendar Man, bump that range up to a 7 using shield TAs off of Valentina and his Scott Porters with Wildcard, and then basically blast the Kong from across the map. For those who aren't aware, Myrn allows you to draw a line of fire 2 characters even if it would be blocked as long as they share a keyword with Myrn, and luckily Kong shares both animal and monster. So what this means is Devin is able to shoot Kongs and other monsters and animal characters and Cosmic for what it's worth from pretty much anywhere on the map, removing their powers and blasting them super hard. Wonder Woman is innately shooting 13 for 4 without any perplexes, and then Myrn can follow up with a precision strike attack with the trick arrows, allowing him to quake afterwards as well. I completely misread Devin's team when I played against it. I understood how it worked, but I didn't think it through on exactly how effective it was going to be. And basically, he KO'd one of my Kongs, and then the next turn, my other Kong just missed its attacks, and he KO'd that one too. It was super effective, and the only reason why he lost to Emily in top 8 was because of some unfortunate dice. He definitely had Emily dead to rights. I was watching the game while playing in my top 8 match, and things just ended up not going his way. So hats off to Devin for a super unique and creative team. It was definitely the most creative team of Canadian Nationals. All in all, I had a really fun time playing at Canadian Nationals, and I'm happy with the team and how I ran it. I will not be running this team for Worlds because, like I said, it's less effective now than it was a few days ago. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave me feedback. Let me know what you think about these unedited cuts with all the ahs, ums, and breaths, and I'll try and make more videos as I'm able. See you guys.